welcome back. I'm so excited that you are here. My name is Natasha, and we just finished watching Coki, the play that I wrote in our last session. And now in our next session, I have some friends here from the University of Texas at Austin to lead us through some activities that's going to help us think through some of the things that we saw in the play. So here they are.
Our first activity will be about size, and we'll be taking you on a journey to explore what it's like to be big and small. So everybody, let's get up and get ready to use our imagination.
Hello friends, so just like Sydney said, today we are going to be using our bodies to explore what it's like to be big and small. But before we get started, I want to introduce you to some of my friends. So like I said, my name is Morgan and these are my friends.
Hi, I'm Sydney.
Hello, I'm Daniel.
And I'm Eleanor.
And we are going to start our first activity by using our bodies to get big and small. So let's start by thinking really small. Think of something that reminds you of being small. For me, I think of a little mouse. What do my friends think of?
I think of a butterfly.
I think of small, fluffy chinchillas.
I think of a squirrel.
What do you think of when you think of small things? Can you show me what that looks like with your body? Great job! You look amazing! Now let's use our bodies to act out things we think of when we think big. For me, when I think big, I think of a really tall giraffe.
I think of a bear.
I think of Godzilla.
I think of an elephant.
What do you think of when you think big? Can you show me with your body? Awesome! Look how big you are! Well, now that we know what it's like to get big and small with our bodies, my friend Dan is going to take us on a journey. So make sure you're on your feet and ready to explore.
All right, everyone. We're going to be going on a journey through the forests of Coki. So come with us as we go through this beautiful rainforest. So we're going through this beautiful rainforest, and there's lots of big trees with big leaves, and there's lots of rain and very small raindrops, and oh my gosh, does everyone see that right there? It's a big, big river in front of us that we need to get across. That's a tough obstacle for us. What do you guys think that we should do to get across the river? Do you guys have any ideas? Eleanor, what are you thinking?
Maybe if we get really big, we can jump across the river.
That sounds like a great idea to me. Does that sound like a great idea to you? All right, let's do it. So everyone think really big and get really big with your bodies with me and be ready to jump across in 3, 2, 1, go! Great job, everyone. We made it across the river. All right, now let's keep going on our journey through the rainforest. So we're going through the rainforest again with the big trees and the big rain and, oh, what is that right there? It looks to me like a very small cave. Morgan, what do you think we could do to go through that small cave?
Maybe if we think small like we did in our first activity, we can get really tiny and fit through the opening of the cave.
That sounds like a great idea to me. How does that sound to you guys? All right, sounds great. Well, everyone, let's think really small so that we can get through this cave. Everyone think really small with me. And let's go! All right, great job, everyone. But now that we're in the cave, I'm starting to notice something about the cave. Sydney, could you describe the cave to me?
It looks really dark.
I know, it's very dark in this cave. But I have an idea on how to make it a lot brighter. Everybody, let's think really big thoughts in our mind, so even when we're very small with our bodies, our minds will think big thoughts and it'll make the cave brighter. For me, when I think big thoughts, I think of my family and my sister, who I love very much. Morgan, what do you think of?
I think of my dog and how much he depends on me. It makes me feel really big.
I think of my hopes and dreams and my future.
I think of all of my friends.
That's great. Everyone think big thoughts with me. And big thoughts, and look at that. It's brighter. Great job, everyone. Thank you so much for thinking big and small with me. Now, my friend Eleanor here is gonna talk about what we did today.
All right, my friends, thank you so much for coming on that journey with us. I want you to think back on all of the obstacles in the journey we just went through. So an obstacle is a problem. It was something that either got in our way, so the big river, that was an obstacle. So think about the obstacles. So what was an obstacle where we needed to be big?
I know.
Morgan?
We had to be really big so that way we could jump across the river.
Yeah. All right, so thinking back on the obstacles from our journey, when was a time where it was good for us to be small? Do you have any ideas? How about you all? Do any of you have ideas?
I know. It was good to be small when we had to fit into the cave.
Exactly. So there were times where it was good for us to be small and times where it was good for us to be big. So never worry about being too small to do something. All you need to do is to think big.
Grande!
Our second activity is about ancestry. In the play Coki, we see how important it is to be surrounded by people who support you. So start thinking about the people in your life who are close to you and helped you become the person you are today.
Hey everyone, today we have a really fun activity planned out for y'all about ancestry and chosen family. My name is Angelo.
I'm Adrian.
Hey, I'm Vita.
I'm Carmen. And I'm Anthony.
Today we're going to be learning about ancestry and how it has shaped all of us into the people we are today.
And by ancestry, we really mean the people who have helped you throughout your life.
That could be your parents, your siblings, your aunts, your uncles, and even your friends. It's the people that you choose to surround yourself with.
For our activity today, all you'll need is a piece of paper and a pencil. So take a moment to pause the video and go grab those things.
Welcome back everyone. Hopefully you have your writing materials in hand. So for today's activity, we're going to be drawing an ancestral tree. It's like a family tree, but with a twist.
And we're gonna have our friends Carmen and Adrian draw their own ancestral tree and help you through the process.
All you need to do is draw 5 separate branches with leaves and make sure not to color anything just yet.
And within the tree, write your name on the stump. And because all of the branches surrounding it will help, form you and all the people who guided you through your life.
For me, I'm gonna write someone that had a big influence on me. For me, that's my mom.
I'm gonna write the name of someone who makes me smile. That's my sibling, Jasmine.
How about you write about someone who taught you a very important life lesson? For example, my theater teacher taught me to care about people other than myself.
Next, you can write the name of someone who makes you laugh. For example, my good friend Arlene and I laugh all the time.
And finally, write the name of someone who is a little far away from you, but you still have a really deep and close connection with. For me, that's one of my best friends who now lives in Australia.
And that should be it for your ancestral tree. If you want to add more, you totally can. And it doesn't have to be just 5 branches. It could be as many as you want.
Wonderful. What if we all sit down and we talk about the people that we wrote about?
In Coki, we see the importance of ancestors and how memories can keep these people alive.
Stories are my favorite way to share our memories of our ancestors. A story that I love about one of my best friends is she used to live here before we went to Australia. We used to do theater together all the time. After rehearsals and shows, we'd go grab a bite to eat and just talk for hours. It may sound small, but thinking back, I cherish it every single time.
In my friend group, my good friends Sarah, Arlene, and Angie and I, we do everything together. We go to parks, we play video games, and we talk on the phone for hours, and I enjoy every second of it.
For me, a memory that I have is from when I was much younger, and my grandma taught me how to cook lots of different foods. Even today, if I have a difficult recipe that I'm working with, I know that I can call her and that she'll help me make it.
We've shared stories about our living relatives. Now, you can share a story also. It could be of your antepasados, your ancestors from the past, or of the present. Awesome.
And that's all we have for you today. We hope you enjoyed our activity. Thank you.
Our third activity is about responsibility. They'll be talking about the things you're in charge of taking care of. So put on your thinking caps and get ready to put together everything we've learned so far for our final activity.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. We are so excited to be here with you. My name is Grace.
I'm Lewis.
I'm Lizzie. And again, we are so excited to be here with you and talking about responsibility. Now, before we get into our activity, go ahead and pause your video and find a piece of paper and something to write with. You're gonna need it. Great! Now that you've got your writing utensils, we're gonna be talking about responsibility. Now, you may be wondering, what's a responsibility? And that's a great question. A responsibility is something you're in charge of, either something or someone. For example, I'm in charge of watering my plants and taking out the trash. Lewis, how about you?
I'm responsible for brushing my teeth and doing my hair.
Lizzie?
I'm responsible for doing my homework and making myself dinner.
Fantastic. Now that you have some examples of what responsibilities are, go ahead and pause this video and write down a list of 5 to 10 responsibilities that you're in charge of.
Great. Now that you have these responsibilities, think back to the activity that you did about ancestry. How are you responsible for your ancestry? For example, I'm responsible for my ancestry by passing down the family recipes that I have.
I'm responsible for my ancestry by cooking breakfast foods at Christmas.
I'm responsible for my ancestry by keeping my grandmother's photo alive during Dia de los Muertos.
All right, so now that you have these examples, go ahead and take a second, pause the video, and write down how you're responsible for your ancestry.
Now that you have your list, think about your responses. How do they make you feel? Big or small? Why? Take a time to think about these responses.
Great. Now that you have your list down, we're gonna play a game. This game is called the machine game, and it can be played by yourself, with the people around you, or with us. Before we start the game, we're gonna assign responsibilities to our body parts. For example, this is doing my homework, and this is making myself dinner.
This is watering my plants, and this is taking out the trash.
This is for brushing my teeth. This is for doing my hair.
Great. Now Grace is gonna show you how you can play the machine game by yourself.
Coki, 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 Coki.
Great. See how Grace used her body parts as her responsibilities and how they went hand in hand? And if you're playing by yourself, feel free to change up your machine as much as you want. Go ahead, Grace.
Coki, 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 Coki.
Great. Now, Grace and Lewis are going to show you how you can play the machine game with someone.
Coki, 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 Coki.
Great. See how they had different responsibilities for their body parts, but they were still interacting and doing things with each other? Now, you can play the machine game with us.
Coki, 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 Coki. Go ahead and join along. Coki, 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 Coki.
Great. See how we all had different responsibilities, but they're still able to go hand in hand?
Well, that's all we have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining us. We had a great time, and we hope that our activity really showed you how your responsibilities are so important. And from all of us here at the University of Texas, we want to say, live big.
Grande!